Good morning, this is Ian R. Crane. It's the morning of Tuesday 16th of January 2018, and right now it's a beautiful sunrise. It's very fresh. There's a real bite to the wind, which I think is the prelude to the snow that's due to come in later this week. Well, I'm here at the Misson Springs Protection Camp, and I'm joined this morning by Becca and Nick. So come on camera, I'll get out the camera and you guys come in. There we go, we can all get in I think on that one anyway. How about that? There we go. So Bex, you guys have come down from Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
You've been at Kirby for about best part of a year, I think.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Really enjoyed it. And then obviously this campaign, I'm going to be showing a presence here as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So you've been down here a couple of days. You've met a number of the locals. You went to the John and Val Marga presentation on Sunday. What's your reaction to the response we've had from the local community here?
Fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So much support. It's been, it's lovely. So far, so good.
Excellent. And Nick, this is your 6th camp, I think, at least.
Well in excess of a dozen, I think.
Yeah.
Quite a few camps. I've lost count.
And so, what's your impression of after a couple of days here at Misson?
It's brilliant. We've been welcomed with open arms. The local people are really on it, and the feeling is that we've got a good, lengthy, robust campaign to be had down here. Yeah.
So we haven't had a single negative reaction from the local community yet. Even a pro-fracker has come over, had a pleasant chat, and acknowledged our right to challenge it, even though he thinks it's a good idea.
Yeah. The way that that has changed over the last few years. We've actually coming into a new camp now. It's so much easier. We get welcomed so much easier, and the people are on it straight away. They're ringing us up, asking us to come and help them out in their areas now, which is a complete contrast to what it was when we first started out back in 2013. Yeah, so it's real positive vibes about this camp. The local area, the first meeting that we went to the other day when John did his talk was fantastic. Everybody seems to be wanting to get involved, wanting to do things. People are making suggestions about how we can write to people, emails and to the appropriate people to try and get things moving and get things done. So yeah, at the moment everything is really positive about Misson.
Because right now the focus is on the fact that the site of special scientific interest. I've just realised, Becca, that we could just see the top of your head in this camera. The site of special scientific interest, which is literally right behind the well site here, and part of the planning conditions were that if iGas haven't finished the pad construction, they have to stop work at the end of this month, and it can't restart until the 1st of September. When iGas are now seeking to effectively override that condition, and they are seeking to get that dismissed, and they want to carry on working right through the bird breeding season. So Natural England and the RSPB are on to this, but there's still a couple of days which people can write to Nottinghamshire County Council, because this decision, it seems, is not going to be taken by councillors. It's going to be taken by council officers. But it's really important, because it is a site of special scientific interest, then anybody can object. Anybody can let the council know of their feelings, and it has to be taken into account, because this isn't just a county issue, this is a national issue. So I think that if that permission is granted, and iGas are given permission to work beyond the 31st of January, I think it calls for a massive turnout here on the 1st of February.
Oh yeah, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. We need to really let them know that that's just completely unacceptable. That kind of disregard for nature and for the wildlife around here just cannot be allowed to go on. They need to be stopped. So if the powers that be deem it acceptable, then we need to make sure that they know that we won't allow it to go on easily.
It's classic mission creep, isn't it? Where they get their foot in the door, and then they change the conditions because they can't actually work to the original conditions, which they knew right from the get-go.
Well, I mean, we hear from all over the world that, you know, that is how the industry works as well. As soon as they've got a foothold anywhere, that's when they start really unveiling what their true intentions are and how much, the magnitude of what they actually want to do. And we've heard it so many times, haven't we? And, you know, when people have come from other countries and said, you know, do not let this industry get a foothold, because they're just ruthless and relentless when they get going.
Yeah, and unfortunately it seems that they've bought a number of people in the Preston Road area. Quadrilla have bought them for about 400 quid a pop.
Yeah, well,
it's really sad, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
Yeah, that people will sell their soul and the future for £400,
It's
or
sickening,
for any
really.
price come to that. But
Yeah.
so Becca, Kirby Misperton, the kit has been sitting on the well site up there for 69 days now. Actually, I have to say, Greg Clark, thank you very much. You've done a better job of holding up Third Energy than even we did.
Thanks, Greg.
So we really appreciate that. And now, of course, you need to do the right thing. So what do you reckon, Becca? Are we going to go up to witness a frack, or are we going to go back and party because Greg Clark has withdrawn the permission?
I think definitely the latter. We'll be partying, and we'll be making sure that we maintain a presence at Kirby Misperton and keep that camp going. So yeah.
Absolutely. So regardless of the outcome, there's going to be an ongoing presence at Kirby for sure, because it's not over. But Greg Clark absolutely needs to do the right thing and pull the plug on it, because you know, there are so many facets to this. You know, not least that Third Energy still have not filed their 2016 accounts. By rights today, the company should be dissolved. So, you know, the British government is now making special dispensation to accommodate a company because it wants to pursue that agenda. So the plug should be pulled for that reason alone, that the company is effectively operating in bankruptcy, effectively. It's having money pumped into it by Barclays Bank, but that looks like it's just the money to pay the rental charges for the kit that's been sitting there.
It's costing a fortune.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least £100,000 a day.
Yeah.
So then we've got the issue of the fact that the site isn't safe, and a recent Freedom of Information request, which was forwarded to me last night, shows that you know, even the North Yorkshire Fire Service seem to be under some false impressions about the protection community, and so it actually leads to further investigation as to where this information is coming from, about the suggestion that that information cannot be released for fear of retribution by the protection community, which is just simply absurd. I mean, there hasn't been a single case of aggression by any member of the protection community, and we know this allegation by Next Level Security Services is totally fabricated now.
Absolutely.
About this poisoning of the dog, and I actually challenge Derek Laird of Next Level Security Services to produce the vet's report showing that the dog was actually taken to the vet, and let's see what it was suffering from, because somehow I doubt that that vet's report is actually going to manifest. But Nick, we've seen this before, these attempts to demonise the protection community, but I mean, on the other hand, that's an indication that we're having significant impact.
Of course, yeah. Whenever they come out with something like this and they try and make it go countrywide in the press and the media, it always means that we're being effective. It always means that we've had good vibes from the communities that we're in. You know, people are on our side, people are helping us out, people are getting involved. And whenever that happens, they always try and discredit us, and you know, it's something we've grown used to over the years.
But as somebody did an analysis of the stereotypical activist at Kirby Misperton, and apparently they're a teacher, a mother, and there was one other common denominator, but basically it completely goes against the normal stereotype that's presented by the mainstream media.
Indeed, yeah.
And you know, we do always encourage people to come to the camps, because what you'll find is there's a plethora of information available, and the level of knowledge and awareness right across the people on the camps here is is not insignificant, and you know, there's a lot to be learned from just visiting the camps, and take the opportunity and come and see what's going on at the gate. Now you guys were at the gate yesterday.
Yeah,
so
we were, yeah.
what was your first experience or first contact with Nottinghamshire Police?
Well, they seem to be trying to keep it nice and what we call fluffy.
Yeah,
You know, and it's nice when the police are doing that, because you know, we have been into places where the police just come in with a heavy hand straight away and try and sort of brush us aside, like they feel that we don't have the right to protest and the right to show that we don't want this in our areas, or any area for that matter. But the police here seem to be quite respectful, which is quite nice. It makes a nice change.
Long may it continue.
Yeah, long may it continue.
Although I won't be holding my breath.
No, me neither.
But apparently the Nottinghamshire Police and Crime Commissioner is apparently highly regarded, and you know, does try and apparently hold a balanced line. But as we know, instructions come down to the chief constables from a much higher level than the Police and Crime Commissioner.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So what are we going to do today? It's a bit chilly. Are you going up to the gates today?
Yeah, we're thinking about taking a walk down to the gates to see what's happening. Yesterday there were just aggregate wagons going in to build the pad. So of course we're trying to get the local community involved in possibly, you know, slow walking those out. The police have said that the local people are not allowed to slow walk the vehicles in for safety reasons, apparently, but we are trying to sort of encourage them to come along and get involved and get in front and delay the wagons a little bit, because let's face it, if the longer this goes on, the more chance there is of them not getting the construction of the pad done in the time allotted, and that begs the question: do they get the extension to go through the season with the birds and the scientific interest side?
So if we had 150 people here every day, it'd be a completely different story.
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
But you know, the British government and this industry absolutely relies on our apathy. Not just with this, but everything. You know, the British version of democracy is cast your vote and then go away, leave us alone to do whatever the hell we like. And unfortunately, of course, most people are caught up in some kind of commitment to paying a mortgage, obviously keeping food on the table, roof over the head and all that. So we completely understand. But even if people could manage half a day to come up to Miston Springs and give support at the gate or on the camp, then it is greatly appreciated. And obviously we're at the front end of starting the Miston Springs Protection Camp, and as I said yesterday, there are always significant startup costs which occur before we have the opportunity to get bank accounts in place. So my thanks to those people who made a donation via the fracking awareness campaign on frackingnightmare.com, and you know, thank you so much for that support, because you know, without that we would really struggle. And,
yeah, we would.
You know, it's not a time of year when we need to be skimping. You know, there are things that basic infrastructure that has to be put in place as quickly as possible. So if you do want to make a donation towards the Miston Springs Protection Camp for the short term, then please do it via frackingnightmare.com, and you'll see the appropriate box in the left-hand corner. And well, I'm going to be taking a day off from the gates today. I'm going to be doing a bit of construction work here on camp.
Yep.
But if anybody is living in the North Nottinghamshire, South Yorkshire, North Lincolnshire area, we're right in that corner of North Nottinghamshire. So you know, please drive by, just take a small detour and come along and see us. And the kettle's normally on, and we'd be delighted to have a chat. So thanks for joining us this morning. Looks like it. I mean, we had a horrendous rainstorm again last night.
Yeah.
Strong winds. Fortunately, we managed to keep this gazebo.
Yeah, it's just about survived.
Just about, but you know, we're learning. We're learning, you know, which direction the winds are coming from and how brutal they are.
It's a new field, and we have to get the feel of it. And but it really is a good field, this one as well. I've got a really good feeling about it.
It's nice not to be walking around in mud.
Yeah, it's nice not to be knee deep in mud, definitely.
For a change.
Yeah. So Becca, Nick, thanks very much
Thank
for
you.
joining us
Thank you.
today, and I'm sure Missing Springs is going to be as interesting as Kirby has been.
Of course.
Okay. Thanks very much for joining us this morning, and we'll be back tomorrow morning. It is a beautiful sunrise here. Say the biting wind, I can deal with that as long as the rain and the white stuff doesn't come down.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be in for a bit of a tough week next week.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, bit of snow.
Yeah.
But nothing we can't handle.
Oh, we've handled it before.
Just inappropriate clothing. That's all.
Exactly.
You just need layers, and you're all right.
Yeah, layers and a good waterproof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, thanks very much. You guys have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you down here at Mizzen Springs in North Nottinghamshire. The postcode is DN106ES. That's DN106ES, and or punch in Mizzen Springs. That's MISSON, Mizzen Springs, and on Google Maps it'll literally bring you right to the camp. So thanks a lot, and catch you tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers.
Bye then.